Welcome to another Cakeland Preseason Coaches Show as we talk with Ty Fontenstiel, the head football coach of the Oakley Plainsmen, brought to you by Farm Credit of Western Kansas, many other businesses. And Coach, welcome to Northwest Kansas. What do you expect for the Oakley Plainsmen?
Well, we absolutely expect to win. Okay, Oakley's got all kinds of tradition, great success, and we expect to win this season and come out rolling right out the gates.
All right, folks, you can catch more with Coach Fontenstiel when you go to openspacessports.com as we prepare for another football season. Well, Coach, let's talk a little bit about Ty Fontenstiel first. You took this job this past spring. Randall Rath resigned and has taken another position in Cimarron, Kansas. You're coming into a system that has had quite a bit of success. You have had quite a bit of success. Tell us where you came from, where you grew up, and where you coached prior to coming to Oakley.
Well, originally from Ness City, Kansas, from out in this part of the state, but the last 9 years been at Gardner-Edgerton High School in the Kansas City area. We've been a 5A school and recently moved up to a 6A school, so definitely different coming down to 2A, but getting back home and being back at 2A where I played at Ness City. So,
what advantage then is there for you, if you think there is an advantage, having coached at the 5 and the 6A level, and now coming to the 2A? Will you bring some things that might not be typical in a small school setting?
Well, I was fortunate enough to work with Marvin Diener, and legendary coach in the state of Kansas. All his success at Salina Central and then at Gardner-Edgerton. So it was great to work with him. But I don't necessarily think I have an advantage over anybody else. There's great coaches in this state and at all classifications, and so I'm just going to bring the experience that I have. And try to bring it to this program and make sure that we work hard every day and that our kids are getting better every single day.
Offensively and defensively both, give us a feel for what you might bring here that hasn't been part of the program in the past. Because you're obviously familiar with what Randall's done.
Yeah, absolutely. And so we will have more wide receivers on the field than probably what they've had in the past, but that doesn't necessarily change our mindset. We will be a run-first team. We will be tough-nosed. We've got good guys up front, so we're going to ride those guys up front, and we will run the ball. But you will see more wide receivers on the field and spreading teams out a little bit more than probably what they have in the past. And but we will throw the ball too. So we've got a good quarterback and some kids some good skill kids that can really catch the ball. And so I'm excited to see what those guys can do once we get the pads on and on both sides, running and throwing the football.
How many kids did you have out?
We had 34 this morning, so that was I think that's probably about the max, and so I don't see anybody else showing up, and 34 is the number that we've got. Leadership,
where do you expect that to come from?
Well, we're one of we don't have a whole lot of guys returning. We graduated a great senior class last year. We've got 3 guys on each side of the ball returning. And so obviously our seniors have to be big for us. We have to have guys that step up. We've got 2 really good ones in Ryan Kuhn and Dylan Gassman on both. They're phenomenal defensive players, and they're really going to help us out up front on the offensive line too. So
your schedule has changed a little bit from what Oakley has had in the past, having dropped out of the Northwest Kansas League, gone to the Mid-Continent Conference now. A tougher schedule looks like to me.
Yeah. It's great. I love it. I absolutely love it. And a lot of people will ask you, like, man, it's going to be a tough schedule, but it makes our kids prepare every single week, and it's going to be absolutely fun. And our first 4 games right off the bat are critical, and then we're right into districts. So if we can stay healthy, if we can avoid injuries, I think we'll be in great shape. We'll be well battle tested going into districts.
Well, listen, again, welcome to Northwest Kansas. Welcome to Oakley High School and Open Spaces Sports. I know we'll be covering the Oakley Plainsmen game by game throughout the season, not only in football but all sports. Welcome aboard here in Oakley, Kansas, and good luck to you this year.
Looking forward to it. Thanks, Rich.
Ty Fontenstiel, the head coach of the Oakley Plainsmen, as they get ready for another football season. Reporting for Open Spaces Sports, this is Rich S.